É um vídeo muito interessante mostrando como é que foi feito, projetado, idealizado aquela primeira armadura do Homem de Ferro. Então, sem perder tempo, vamos pro vídeo.
I love this. Right there.
We made a decision early to go with Stan Winston Studios to design with us the Iron Man suits.
That's going to be too kicky. Yeah. And that's too matty. I like the brush feeling on it too.
I'd like to say, gosh, everybody was just clamoring after us to do Iron Man, but the fact of the matter is that the minute we heard that Iron Man was being made, we went after it. We're all Iron Man.
Porque assim, o fato é o seguinte, foi muito complexo. Não tem como negar, foi muito complexo e muito... O primeiro Homem de Ferro, ele tinha muita carga, ele tinha que dar certo de qualquer jeito. Porque se o primeiro Homem de Ferro não desse certo, não iam ter outros filmes da Marvel. Tudo estava dependendo desse filme para funcionar.
Fans, it was like the perfect thing for the studio. So we went after the show, and at just about the time that Jon Favreau was signed to actually direct it was when we took our first meeting with Marvel, and John was in that meeting.
This particular film was a little bit more interesting because there was already a design idea or a series of design ideas in place. They had conceptual drawings of Iron Man that fit a certain...
Se você parar para ver ali, ó, já tem aqui, ó, já tem o protótipo, já tem algumas coisas aqui no fundo, independente do projeto e tal. Isso é interessante.
certain body proportion and a certain body type. So we had to inherit those and then bring them into our world and make them function. The big challenge was the fact that
Eu vou chamar advogado pra ver minha situação.
Pera aí, desculpa.
they hadn't cast anyone
Tenho
to be
controle
Iron
sobre
Man.
isso.
And here it is. Here's the final.
And that's what we come to.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's what we get for the amount we have to spend.
The journey you generally go through in the creation of a suit is you sit down with Stan Winston, his design team, our internal team, Favreau, the producers, and everyone starts with drawings and images, and you Photoshop, and you get to sort of a 2D drawing, like a color drawing that you can hang up. That then gets moved to a modeling stage, to a 3D model, so you see a quick time of a model that turns. Then that goes to a clay maker, and then you see the first clay made of it, and it's something tangible now that you can touch and you can spin.
É a armadura que eu
And
mais
we're
gosto,
convinced that a
gente.
human head would
Essa
actually fit in
primeirona
this
aí.
thing,
Acho
right?
muito
Ears are
linda.
right up inside, right up against it.
It's exciting. This is when you really get a sense of the movie coming together, when you start to see this. It's a bigger leap in some ways to go from an idea to this than to go from this to the actual movie.
And then there's generally a maquette that's made, which is a miniature desktop model of it, and it might be only 2 feet tall.
It's a work in progress, but it's coming along.
That's great.
Obviously, we don't have the wardrobe when we get with help.
And then you wait, and you know the next step is the suit. And it's the full-size, shootable, physical suit that a person's going to get into.
E isso só aconteceu no primeiro, tá?
I've
O
never
Robert
made a
Downey
movie
Jr.
of this
falou que
size
não
before
ia
or of this genre. I've always
ficar
been a
vestindo a
fan,
roupa toda vez, não.
but it's a
Só foi no
daunting
primeiro.
undertaking. The day I knew everything was going to be okay was the day that Robert Downey Jr. was attached to play Iron Man.
That is gorgeous.
What Kevin's going to do, and they're going to take a cast to your foot so that it's a very low relief strap.
Stan Winston's reputation and Shane, the guys on that team, I've worked with them before. Every time you go into their shop, you go, oh my God, and they did that, and they did that, and AI, and this, and that. And you see a history of films that I grew up on. The reason that I'm playing Tony Stark, the reason that I'm involved in Iron Man, the reason that I'm so excited is I'm crazy about movies. That's why I wanted to become an actor. That's why I could cry watching Chud, Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. I buy into movies. I love it. I see The Fly. I don't care if that's Jeff Goldblum going, you know, I'm like, I'm in it. They're transporting, the fly's dying. I mean, I'm a sucker for this stuff.
Again, I'm just thrilled to land another gig with you. That's cool. Me too, man. The best thing I can tell you about me is ultimately I just don't do anything. Oh, I'm sick. I'm out of here.
All right.
Later.
Get a good night.
Stan, thanks.
Good to see you, Rob.
Okay.
I'll see you soon. I walk in like a fan, because I say it humbly, because I really don't do it. I did it when I started. Now I oversee it. Shane oversees it. I just enjoy it. I come in and it's easy for me to say, wow, that's cool. Do more of that. Make sure my name is on the screen.
How many gags are you doing? We're going to do the inclined one after this one, but this one right now you're more upright. We're just going to do a small blender section.
Hey, I don't like my little tummy there.
I'm not doing all this core work for nothing. That's all I'm saying.
Behold the mass.
I'm beholding the
We could hold off on this part. We are building a prototype while we're going. We've never built an Iron Man suit before.
Dude, you're zooming in on my hammer right now, aren't you?
Ease up on the
What kind of twisted parlor games going down here?
And so you're given a launching gun, and then you have to hit the finish mark with the suit done. So it's not like we are ever able to kind of make one and then scrap it and make another one and make improvements and scrap that. We have to actually work it all out and deliver at the time we're supposed to.
E assim, só um detalhe, tá? Só um detalhe, muito importante. O Robert Downey Jr. nessa época aí, ele tava começando a querer voltar a ser ator de novo, porque ele fez muita coisa ruim nos anos 90, não ruim de filme ruim. Ele quase estragou a carreira dele legal nos anos 90. Chegou muito perto dele ser um ator completamente esquecido. Então meio que ele tava fazendo tudo pra dar certo. Então você vê, esse tipo de coisa aí, ele só fez no primeiro filme, porque no segundo ele já falou que não ia fazer, não ia usar traje nenhum, ia só colocar uns pontinhos e falar, se vira. Foi isso mesmo.
Johnny. Faster!
Thank you. Right now you're in the Stan Winston mold shop, in the finishing shop. What you see behind me is where most of the parts are being modeled and parts are being painted. There's about 450 individual parts that make this suit. This is going to be the Mark II's chest. This is where the RT will go. And it's actually spray chrome metal, and it's been brushed. This is actually the process of putting in the rivets based on the design. And it's not really a polished rivet at all. It's just the illusion of a polished rivet. These are two pieces from the Mark III, and these are from our early test. This enormous calf that has sort of the accoutrement of like jet engines and things. But the foot goes in here, and then these panels had to be designed to slide and move. These are large sections of the Crimson Dynamo that are being made. This is a negative flexible mold, and these are just quickie temporary molds to pull out hard shells. What's interesting about what Trevor's painting is that this is a flexible paint for urethane that doesn't crack or buckle, and we have a lot of parts that are actually flexible. And it took a long time to get that to work. This is Tim Nordella, who's mechanizing the Crimson Dynamo. There's a hatch that opens, revealing the sinister man who's inside. Eventually, it'll all be dressed like a very, very tight and down below, like the cockpit of a dive vessel. But right now, these are just the outer shells and sort of the escape hatch of this particular
Que é
thing.
muito da hora.
Não dá pra perder. HBO Max. Nosso corre é o Paulistão.
Fazer, gente. Em 2007, gente. Olha como faz tempo.
When you work with someone like Stan Winston's company, so far, this is John and my second film with them. It's still a pretty magical experience when that suit's first rolled out. Shane likes to put it behind a curtain generally and unveil the curtain in a very dramatic way, and there was Iron Man standing behind.
What do we do today?
I turned it on.
Voila! And then you look at it and you touch it, and it's sort of half excitement and half fear because it's very real. And generally you're pretty close to production at that point when that suit's shown to you. So hopefully your research was right and the proportions all line up and the textures are good and the colors and all the decisions you made along the way make sense.
Once you start to not see the whole guy, the proportions of him, and I think 235 is a good move here. I think it holds up really well.
When John first saw it, he was all smiles. I mean, he was really happy. Once the stuntmen had really become accustomed to the suit,
Não deixa de
when
precisar
they
ter o
started out, they
negócio
were
verde, né?
just a
pra
little afraid
resolver,
of
porque não-
damaging it, plates intersecting and chipping off paint and that kind of thing. But by the end of the day, he'd really gotten the full range of motion and sort of learned to live in the suit. Those dailies at the end of the day were just amazing. I think everyone was just blown away.
Turn it on, Brad.
You have to be strong and you have to be athletic to do this. It's like wearing very heavy football gear. Your endurance level has to be up for it because it's a double-edged sword. We have to make it light enough to move, but we have to make it heavy enough not to just completely, crack apart when somebody puts too much muscle into it.
So just do a, like the first guy, outside the door.
The Mark I with the flamethrowers and stuff was close to 100 pounds. Without the flamethrowers and the gas and everything on it, it was maybe 60 or 70 pounds.
Okay, and roll camera.
What it feels like you're doing inside the suit doesn't relate at all. When I'm walking, if I look down to see my mark at all, they notice. But when I roll my shoulders up and try to get the hero pose, they can barely see it. So it's taken a while to watch ourselves on camera to learn what it looks like and what the moves relate to.
Another rotation, Mike.
Like right here, it locks out. And here, the weight comes down on my shoulder. So to be erect, is this what you're looking for?
Well, I just want to see it, if it, because right now I see you crouch, right?
Yeah, the hero poses kind of came from us just kind of striking poses and looking what looked best, and then them saying, yeah, hold that, and things from the comic book that they had took and poses they want, and then there were some that we came up with our own, and just different looks and, trying to show that you can see his character. If he's angry or if things are going good in the suit, they wanted to see that on camera.
Roll camera.
Isso tudo é sempre importante. Isso é tudo antes do filme. Tem gente que pensa que é só pegar e gravar e tal. Não, não é. Isso é tudo antes do filme acontecer. Por quê? Porque você tem que ter uma noção de algumas coisas, principalmente naquela época, de como é que vai ficar em câmera, como é que vai ficar o posicionamento. Se você for olhar bem, olha aqui em cima, são casas. Então é meio que ninguém tava muito se importando com o filme da Marvel, o filme de super-herói. Se fosse hoje em dia, o que ia ter de gente tirando foto ali em cima ia ser gigantesco.
Action.
Yes, of course there's going to be a great deal of digital work that has to be done to bring something like this to life on screen. But the fact of the matter is these suits truly exist. And they are going to be there. And they're going to be on the set, and they're going to be actors, and we are going to see the real thing along with the digital thing. But when you as an audience are looking at it, screw you up a little bit, so you really don't know what you're seeing. Is that real or is that digital? And then you let go.
My background as a filmmaker is not in this sort of genre. I've dabbled a little bit in special effects in Zathura and Elf, but really I come from more of an independent background, primarily a comedic background. And so I really wanted to offer a human side that would fit in with my sensibility of filmmaking. And in assembling the cast that I did between Robert Downey Jr. and Jeff Bridges, Gwyneth Paltrow, Terrence Howard, that's a cast that I would be happy to have in a drama or a comedy. And to be able to have them to support a bigger-than-life superhero really offers the possibility to exceed what people's expectations might be of this type of genre.
Listen to me. You are like a little child sitting next to its father in a car with a plastic steering wheel, turning the wheel, but its father's driving, Tony.
Well, then let me out of the car. Join me. Let's get there and let us start. We can raise all the funds we want. What do you mean?
I was the one who arranged the injunction, Tony.
You could have saved a lot of trouble if you just... Let's go.
Did I hear you?
Yeah, no, that'd be great. That'd be great. I mean,
I think it was my manager, David Schiff, was very excited about this project. He was telling me about Iron Man. I said, who's directing? And he said, Jon Favreau. I said, oh, God, he's such a wonderful director, writer, and actor. I said, he'd be great to work with. And who's playing Iron Man? Robert Downey Jr. So, wow, that's a pretty good team right there. And he said, keep me posted. This sounds like a good, something I'd like to get involved with.
Porque já se sabia, no primeiro Homem de Ferro, já se sabia, pelo menos na grande indústria, que teríamos um filme dos Vingadores. Não que se tornou a proporção que se tornou Vingadores Ultimato, mas já se tinha essa ideia de ter um filme dos Vingadores. Então, nada mais justo que se você tem um pouquinho mais de visão, você fala, pô, quero participar desse negócio. O problema é que tiraram o personagem do Jeff Bridges completamente e ele não pode aparecer em outros filmes da Marvel, que é uma pena.
I'll let you warm up a little bit and then we'll start throwing a little movement into it.
Robert's a guy who is very disciplined in his approach to everything he does, and he's really gotten his body and his mind into a very, sort of clear, disciplined state, and that sort of carried over into how he prepared for the role.
Wherever direction is, just point kind of the opposite way, right?
Yeah, when you feel it going the other direction, act like you're trying to counter it. Okay, go the other, there you go, just like that.
I think he was very aware that he sort of had a burden in this film that he hadn't had before. He could sort of be charming and funny and come in and out of a movie and steal scenes in the past, but now he was sort of an iconic superhero.
It's good to eat about 10 minutes before this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I weight train crazily, and I do a lot of martial arts and yoga, Kung Fu, Wing Chun Kung Fu, but I was doing that anyway. About a year ago, I said, I really want to put on some size, which isn't easy when you're in your late 30s, and now I'm 41. I thought if I'm ever going to do a movie like this, I've got to do it quick before it's not embarrassing. But anyway, I feel like I've got a
Outro ponto que eu preciso destacar é o seguinte. Vocês viram que ele acabou de falar. Ele tinha 41 anos quando começou a fazer o Homem de Ferro. Quando ele estava numa situação extremamente complicada da vida dele. Nessa época não, já estava um pouquinho melhor. Ele já estava se reabilitando. Mas sempre é possível recomeçar, sempre é possível refazer. E nessa época ele não era nem um pouco conhecido do grande público. Ele foi se tornar extremamente conhecido depois desse filme. Ele fez o Zodíaco antes, ele tinha feito o Trovão Tropical acho que um pouco antes ou depois desse daqui, mas esse é o filme que explodiu o Homem de Ferro pro mundo. O Homem de Ferro não, o Tony Stark também não, esqueci, o Robert Downey Jr. pro mundo.
5 to 7 year window, and then if it goes past that, then I'm sure all the optical stuff and CGI will have advanced to make you look better.
It's good. How's those legs, baby?
Yeah, no, great shape. Legs are ready.
Não se esqueça de se inscrever aqui no canal, tem vídeos novos todos os dias. Tchau, tchau e até a próxima.